The first few instants of any creative endeavor are the most significant moments for the spectator. A thrilling first frame, a sonically attractive opening track, or a notable pilot episode are all necessary characteristics when striving for a long-term commitment with your audience. Exceptional first-person shooters understood the benefit of letting the player actively shape the narrative, injecting them into their respective conflicts from the moment they begin playing. On the flip side, story-heavy ones begin utilizing cinematic debuts as a means of slowly unraveling the game's worlds, immediately acting as a hook for the player. In these circumstances, both unraveling the gravity in which their lead character finds themselves in. There are obviously countless examples of games with stellar introductions, utilizing their opening act as a traditional tutorial while simultaneously inaugurating your journey with insane levels of spectacle. With its controversial sequel fast approaching, I believe there is no better game to dissect on this matter than one of the decade's most acclaimed and well-regarded games. The game opens on the sound of a ticking clock. It's past midnight. Joel enters the room, a struggling father doing the most for his daughter Sarah, a vibrant 12-year-old excited to present her dad a birthday gift she's been planning for some time. Considering this character's existence was kept concealed before the game's release, you're immediately invited to speculate on her role within the overarching narrative. The conversations are quick, with some light banter, believably conveying their affinity for one another.
Where did you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Oh, good. You started helping out with the mortgage then.
Yeah, you wish.
Good night, baby girl.
Hello?
You're suddenly woken up by the squealing phone at your bedside.
What time is it?
The game opts to use Sarah's perspective for its opening act, swiftly immersing you into her surroundings by creating levels of tensions foreign to an adult. Imagine your younger self in similar circumstances, desperately looking for some sort of comforting from a parent in the middle of the night. The sounds and bright lights from a distant room grasp your attention.
Daddy?
Tension begins to build as you slowly make your way across a seemingly never-ending hall. Hoping for some sort of reassurance, you decide to enter. Joel must have been watching it before his sudden disappearance.
There seems to be some commotion coming from
You're directly caught off guard by the vicinity of that sudden explosion. Sarah's voice begins to crack as she desperately calls out for her dad. As you make your way down the stairs and into the living room, you catch a glimpse of a pair of police cruisers speeding across the street. Contrary to its opening, the room feels cold, as the backyard's glass doors are now the only source of light present in the scene.
There's his phone.
A phone begins vibrating on one of the kitchen's counters, prompting the player to swiftly approach it in hopes for answers.
8 missed calls. Where the hell are you? Call me on my way.
Your uncle is actively seeking Joel, now making you question his whereabouts and well-being. With nowhere else to go, you decide to enter the studio. It's here where Joel makes his sudden entrance.
There you are.
He's visibly distressed and in need of you to closely follow his every word. He has no time to explain.
No, who would come in here?
Don't go near the doors. Just stand back there.
Dad, you're kind of freaking me out. What's going on?
It's the Coopers. Something ain't right with them. I think they're sick.
What kind of sick?
Jeez. Jimmy!
Dad?
Honey, come here. Come here. Jimmy! Jimmy, stay back! Jimmy, I am warning you! Don't!
Where the hell you been? You have any idea what's going on out there?
I got some notion.
Holy shit.
You got blood all over you.
As you rush outside, you're immediately told to sit in the back seat, temporarily excluded from most conversations while quietly reminiscing on what previously transpired.
You gonna tell me what happened?
Later.
Hey, Sarah.
From a narrative standpoint, I believe the following minutes to be some of the most compelling in terms of environmental storytelling, exposing civilization's swift descent into chaos through the eyes of an innocent child.
Found this one family all mangled inside their
Tommy.
house. Right.
As a player, you're able to move Sarah around the car. The limited camera movement forces you to pay attention to your surroundings. The sea of red lights paints a horrific image as you witness an innocent couple being brutally assaulted by two infected.
What just happened? What the fuck just happened? Did you see that? Yes.
Joel begins second-guessing their every move, arguing with his brother, now forcing their presence through a frightened crowd.
Can't stop here, Tommy. I can't fucking drive through them, Joel! Back up then! They're behind me too! There! Hold on! Go!
You're now suddenly in control of Joel. Sarah was sadly wounded in the brutal crash, and the game now places her life in your hands. The scripted sequence fully conveys the sense of panic through the use of extensive crowds, passing vehicles, and points of interest occurring all around you. You feel completely exposed as you helplessly follow Tommy's guidance, as the momentary assurance you initially felt is now completely gone. With your brother temporarily containing a small mob of infected at bay, he's simultaneously leaving you defenseless once again.
I cannot run them!
Uncle Tommy?
I will meet you there! Hurry!
The glowing yellow tape and flashing burning lights from a recently crashed ambulance mark a small path you're intended to follow. And as you slowly get the feeling you might have just made it out safely, you're placed into the game's most significant cutscene.
It's okay, baby. We're safe. We're safe. Hey, we need help.
Stop!
Please. It's my daughter. I think her leg is broken.
Stop right there!
Okay. We're not sick.
Got a couple of civilians on the outer perimeter. Please advise.
Daddy, what about Uncle Tommy?
We're gonna get you to safety and go back for him, okay?
Sir, there's a little girl. But... Yes, sir.
Listen, buddy, we've just been through hell. Okay, we just need... Shit.
The striking visuals, immaculate animation work, and powerful performances from its cast all amount to this heart-wrenching scene.
Oh, no. Sarah. Move your hands, babe. I know, baby, I know. God. Listen to me. I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby. I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby. I know. Sarah.
I was initially left speechless. The emotional resonance I had for these characters was something unusual. Realistically, I'd only been playing for around 10 to 15 minutes, yet the game had already accomplished to fully interest me into its vivid world of broken characters. Truth is, you're given a reason to care, enduring firsthand their traumatic and life-changing events. For Joel, time hasn't progressed since that incident, constantly being reminded by that broken watch still resting on his wrist 20 years on. What I believe makes this introductory sequence truly shine is its continuous thematic recurrence throughout the rest of the game. Ellie's eventual relationship with Joel is built upon the theme of loss. A bold introduction as exemplified is what I believe pushed most into pursuing the game's long-stretching journey, promptly shutting down any criticism of it being just another zombie game. Naughty Dog accomplished something truly exceptional by showcasing the real value of pursuing more personal human tales, a remarkable feat, and a legacy that won't be forgotten.